In a remote monastery nestled in the hills of a rainforest, there lived a wisdom teacher known as Master Lin, renowned for his tranquility and profound knowledge of the Dharma. Among his students was Jian, a young novice monk who, despite his dedication to the teachings, struggled with turbulent emotions that he could neither understand nor control. Want to find out how Jian will find inner peace? Stay with us as we explore this transformative story and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories. One evening, as the sun slowly set behind the hills, Jian approached his teacher. "Master Lin," he began, searching for the right words. "Despite my best efforts, I still struggle with anger and disappointment. How can I find the peace you speak of?" Master Lin looked at the young man with a gentle smile and said, "Jian, anger is not something that punishes you from the outside, but from the inside. As the Buddha said, you will not be punished for your anger, you will be punished by your anger. It is a flame that only burns those who feed it. True serenity is achieved not by pushing emotions away, but by accepting them and learning to let go of them." If you have ever struggled with similar emotions, share your experience in the comments. How do you deal with your anger and disappointment? Jian looked down, pondering the master's words. "But how can I learn to let go of what burns inside me?" Master Lin slowly stood up and pointed to the surrounding forest. "Tomorrow morning, you will go into the forest. You will stay there for 3 days. Listen to the forest, listen to yourself, and when you return, we will talk." The next morning, Jian ventured into the rainforest. Each step was accompanied by the rustling of leaves underfoot, the chirping of birds, and the sound of the wind playing in the branches. As much as he tried to focus on the beauty around him, the weight of his emotions continued to torment him. He sat on a rock near a stream and closed his eyes, trying to calm his mind. Master Lin's words came back to him. "Listen twice as much as you talk." And so he did. He stopped talking, both to himself and to the nature around him, and began to listen. The water of the stream flowed gently, like an endless melody. The wind, soft and incessant, seemed to whisper ancient secrets to him. As Jian sat in silence, he began to sense something new. It wasn't just the sounds of the forest, but something deeper, an inner quiet growing within him. He felt his mind expand, as if he could finally get in touch with the emotions that had been tormenting him. The anger, the disappointment, the frustration, all these emotions now felt like waves in a sea, large but not impossible to navigate. Have you ever experienced a moment of deep reflection that changed you inside? Tell us in the comments what your forest moment was. On the third day, as the sun set once again, Jian felt different. It wasn't that his anger had completely disappeared, but that he had accepted it. His mind was calmer, his heart lighter. He rose and returned to the monastery, ready to share what he had learned. When he returned to Master Lin's side, the old sage greeted him with a serene smile. "You have listened, Jian. Now tell me what you have discovered." "I have learned that anger and grief are like waves," Jian said slowly, "but I am the sea. I cannot control the waves, but I can accept them and let them pass." Master Lin nodded. "And now that you have listened, you also know how to speak. Your words must not be many, but they must come from your inner wisdom, not just from your knowledge. When you listen more than you speak, your words become thoughtful, full of meaning. This is a powerful lesson. Listening more than we speak can transform our relationships and our lives. What do you think? Leave a comment with your thoughts." Jian pondered this for a moment, then asked, "What about the opinions of others? How can I stop being influenced by what others think of me?" Master Lin turned to the starry sky and replied, "The Buddha taught us not to let the comments of others rule our lives. Imagine your life as a path through a forest. Some will tell you to go right, some will tell you to go left, but only you can choose your own path. Don't let others decide for you. That night, Jian dreamed that he was walking in a forest, surrounded by 1,000 voices trying to tell him where to go. But every time he listened to one of those voices, he lost his way. Only when he began to ignore the promptings and follow his heart did he find his way. Don't forget, life is your path. Choose where you go and don't let other people's opinions lead you away from your path. When he woke up, the young monk felt more confident. He understood that his life was a unique journey and that despite the advice of others, his own path had to be traced by himself. He couldn't let other people's expectations influence his choices. The days passed, and Jian began to put his master's teachings into practice. He learned to accept challenges as an inevitable part of life, remembering that pain is certain, but suffering is a choice. One day, during a storm, the pouring rain and lightning tested him. But instead of fearing the darkness, he remained calm, accepting the storm as part of the great cycle of nature. In a moment of reflection, he remembered another of Master Lin's teachings. Being prepared to accept the worst does not mean living in fear. It means having the courage to face difficulties without adding unnecessary suffering. Jian realized that he could not escape life's challenges, but he could choose how to respond to them. Every storm in life teaches us something new. Have you ever faced a challenge that made you stronger? Share it with us in the comments. The serenity that Jian had sought for so long was no longer a distant goal, but a tangible reality. The forest, with its whispering voices and its stillness, had transformed him. Back at the monastery, he continued to cultivate this inner calm, facing each day with humility and gratitude. One day, during a class with his classmates, Jian remembered the master's last lesson. Don't be afraid to fail. Every mistake is a step towards wisdom. Every time you fall, get up stronger. This lesson resonated with him as a profound truth. Failure was not the end, but a new opportunity to learn and grow. True wisdom lies in embracing every mistake as an opportunity for growth. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stories that inspire you to become a better version of yourself.